Bring that. Nope. Turn it. There you go. I don't know that it would be the same if we didn't have speaker troubles, Coach. Good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Brocato's on a Wednesday night where we are here for the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. I am Doug Gann with 446 Sports alongside head coach David Perkins and Robert Anderson. We'll be joined by a host of folks, a couple of coaches, some players tonight, and you coming out to Brocato's. But, Coach, welcome back to the show on a Wednesday night.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Got a good atmosphere. A lot of people showing up. We haven't been off the practice field too long. We practiced pretty long today, so I told them to show up. And they're coming in. Some of them are late, but I think they went home, took some showers. So we'll see how it goes. Look,
I love to see the folks that are making their way in here tonight, too. And we were sitting around about 6:30. They're a late-arriving crowd, and I love that. And I'm
Always.
like, man, I said, nobody's going to be here tonight. And you look up, and it's a full house here at Brocato's on Coliseum Boulevard. Of course, a big shout-out to the folks here at Brocato's that are our host for the coaches shows this season. And just couldn't think of anything better to do on a Wednesday night, come out here and talk a little Eagles football.
Absolutely. It's always good to talk Eagle football. We're kind of like the L.A. crowds.
Right.
We're always late arriving. Same way on like Friday nights. You look up, it's like a little bit to 7. You're like, man, we don't have any people here. Then after the first quarter's over, you look up and you're like, man, where'd they all come from? But that's kind of the crowd we have. They're a lot of business people, so they're a lot of late arriving people.
They're making their way up from the tailgating section is what they're doing. I know what goes on pregame over there. These folks, they definitely know how to cook and eat and have a good time beforehand.
Absolutely. That's kind of one of my fundraisers.
Yeah.
We've got like 40-something spots, and I have no trouble getting rid of those tailgate spots.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Anderson, we'll bring him in. He is the voice of the Menard Eagles on Friday nights. Robert, welcome in.
Thank you very much. We were talking about the crowd.
Right.
What I loved about it the other night is they all stayed until the end. And that was something my daddy always told me, growing up was, you're going to go to a ball game, stay to the very end.
That's right.
Because a lot of these kids, you may get into the ball game that you may not see all the time. But so that was one of the things Daddy instilled in me at a very young age. Come to the ball game and stay till the end.
Absolutely, and we knew it travels well, and they absolutely did. It was a great. I talked to Coach Gallon, our principal. We had a great gate. So that's one of the reasons why we scheduled them. We knew it was going to be tough going in. They're a very good team, very well coached team. So that was one of the positives out of this beating that they put down on
Coach,
us.
you guys were pretty short-handed, though, truth be told. You won't ever make an excuse. I know that. But dadgum, when you're short-handed like that, it's already a tough task.
Well, it is, and then we had a tough week with the illnesses.
Right.
Been going through, especially the football team, So we had a whole bunch of starters that didn't even practice last week. So, it made it a little tough. But, hey, we had to go out and play. We had them for the game, so we learned from this. We go back and look at the film, and you look at the score, 56-3. You figure that it was a total, that they just completely dominated us. And they did on the scoreboard. But you go back and look at some things, and you got to pull some things out when you get blown out like that. But we played very, very physical, and I know those guys woke up Saturday and knew they were in a football game. But they got two very talented backs that's going to play at the next level. You look at our linebackers who have to go make plays. We're about 160 pounds across there. And the physics just didn't work out too well on there. But, we played well on first and second down. We got them to fourth down 4 or 5 times, and they hurt us on fourth down. But, I got to give them a whole lot of credit, man. They're good, and they've been there, and they're going back. So we'll learn from this one, and we'll go on. And we're in week 3, got St. Mary's, big rivalry. So we're looking forward to that.
Before we get too far ahead,
Absolutely.
We've got to back up to the start of the season. We've got to go because we have been doing our player of the game. And we've got Sabine State Bank that is our player of the game sponsor. And so we've got these footballs that are made by our very close friends over at BU Designs that makes these footballs.
That's nice.
And so we have to get Matthew Hicks because he was the player of the game from week 1. So we're going to get Matthew up to get his football, and then we'll get into our week 2 player of the game. So I think Matthew's eating, though.
He can come on up here. Matthew Hicks.
So we're going to get him up here real quick just to present him with his football as the Sabine State Bank player of the game for week 1 on there. So we'll stand up. And Matthew, this is your performance in week 1. Yeah, come on around. You are very first Sabine State Bank Player of the Game from week 1. So congratulations. Uh-oh. Hang on to that ball. Look. There you go. So we wanted to get you back there. Look there in the camera, and we appreciate the effort and the hard work that you put out. There you go.
Looking for great things from him, too, the rest of the season.
So that is Matthew Hicks from week 1. And we will get to our week 2. We'll get to our lineman of the week. We'll get to our cool play of the game, too. We'll do all of that. So we just had to jump up out of week 1 and get that done. But week 2, and we're not going to stay on long. You know, our thought process is take that rearview mirror and we're windshield, not rearview mirrors on there, too. But I do know that I want to get back on what you took out of that game, because you're never losing games. You're growing from something. And so what are some things that you said, okay, this is what we're going to work on in practice?
Well, you know, both sides of the ball for sure,
right.
Offensively and defensively. You know, we kind of got stymied a little bit on offense. So, you know, we'll go back and look at the plays we called, the defenses that they were called against, and we'll learn that way and know what works, you know, so to speak, against certain defenses, what doesn't work. You know, but, you know, every team that we play is going to be different, you know, strength-wise, athleticism-wise, all those type things. So, you know, some of the things that didn't work against Gina, you know, doesn't mean it won't work in the next game or the next game. So we'll keep doing what we do, you know, and we'll just add to it and just kind of tweak things a little bit and just see. And we did put in a few new things for St. Mary's. So, you know, that's the way football goes, and that's what we'll do. We'll adjust and just keep going.
Your adjustment from the big 45-0 win against Northwood to open the season up versus the 56-3 loss on this past Friday night, where does it fall in there? What do you take from a game that's a big win versus a game that's a big loss, and how do you grow from both of them?
Well, you'd have to grow from both of them, you know, and even though we did have that big victory in week 1, there were some things we saw on film that we had to correct, and I think we did, you know, and then going into week 2, you know, you think you've got some things fixed, right. But then, you know, Gina exposes you, you know, or a team like that exposes you a little bit. So, you know we've got to have other players that's got to step up. You know, we can't have guys going both ways the whole game. And we have that ability to have guys come in for other guys and not lose anything or not, you know. We've got 17 seniors, so right. we've got to use those guys to the best of our ability. You know, one is Matthew Hicks. You know, right. He's a great offensive player, but he's also a great defensive player. You didn't see him too much last week, but, you know, as the season goes on, you're going to see him more on defense also. And not just him and some other players. And we've got to get them ready, and they've got to be in shape to be able to do that. Well, it's 2A football.
Look, and that's one thing that I think anybody that's followed Menard football has gotten used to that. That's just the way it goes. You get your athletes out on the field.
Absolutely. You know, and – you know, 5A and 4A teams have a lot of players. You know, offense right. goes over here in practices, defense goes over there in practice, and they have that ability to do that. But when you get down to 1A and 2A, you've got to have every person on your roster practicing. Right. You've got the freshman practice. You may have to pull up some 8th graders just to have some practice, you know, because that's how you get better is in practice. And so 2A football, and St. Mary's is going through the same thing right now, guys. And then when you've got sicknesses, you know, last week we had like 21 guys at practice.
Right.
And it's hard to practice that way. It's hard to simulate
You can't go 11 on 11 if you've only got 21 players there. That's tough.
And it's tough simulating the other team and what they try to do, and especially a team like we played last week. But, you know, as you get into your class and the other teams are having to do the same thing
right.
that you do,
right.
then it makes for better games.
Robert, your thoughts on looking at week 2?
You know, with St. Mary's coming in, is it the Bishop Greco Bowl?
It is. And the Bishop will be there.
And the Bishop Robert Marshall will be there. So, you know, it's going to be a big crowd, you know, Friday night. And, you know, St. Mary's is going to bring their folks, and they're going to, you know, hopefully come down and spoil us on our home turf on Friday night, which won't happen because we're going to take care of business on that. But I'm looking forward to it. And I know some of these kids, they've got family members that play for St. Mary's and just vice versa. So we're going to have a big family atmosphere come Friday night.
They all know each other. The players know each other. You know, they date each other. It's a thing where the communities kind of clash, you know, but we love each other. We're in the same diocese. Our assistant principal is a graduate of St. Mary's, so we always make fun and go, "Who you pulling for this year?" But she's all green and gold. But it is, and we haven't beaten them in football in a while, and I've been bringing that up, and you know, the seniors haven't beaten them, and they want to get that victory. But you know, St. Mary's is thinking the same thing. And they're wanting to beat us pretty bad, and we're wanting to beat them pretty bad, so that should make for a good game.
It does, and you know, you could take the records and chunk them out the window at any time. I know it's early to use that cliche in week 3 of the season, but when these two teams get together, and St. Mary's has got the better of it, but those games are gone. It's this year that steps up. So what kind of mindset does that senior group take into this?
Well, the mindset is that we haven't won.
Right.
So you want to win, then there's a certain way you got to play, and you got to prepare. And we've told them that the whole week. Yesterday, I would have to give us about a C in practice, but today was a very, very good day. It's tomorrow is more of a walk-through kind of a day, so it was good to see that happen today. We had a lot of guys there today. All the illnesses, I hope, is over. So we do still have a starter out, Carson Albanian, hasn't practiced all week. He plays both sides of the ball, but we'll get him up to speed tomorrow. But you're right, St. Mary's is going to come in here, and it makes for a good game because both teams know each other. Yeah. We kind of know what they're going to do on defense. They know what we're going to do. And it makes it tough. It makes it tough to move the ball. It's usually a really physical game, which it will be, and that's what we're prepared for.
And what I've seen with St. Mary's as well, very similar programs. They're going to come in with not a lot of numbers,
right,
and they're going to try to do a lot of things with players on both sides of the ball. So this is an opportunity for you to see just a good high school football game.
They are, and they're coached very well. Coach Seastrunk does a very good job with those guys. A lot of guys going both ways, so he's got to kind of fit and put things together just kind of like we do. And, we talk about these things, we see each other and kind of help each other out in that aspect. So, we're looking for a big crowd. Maybe not as big as the one that you saw, but our community shows up, their community shows up, and it's going to make for a really good, entertaining game.
That's right.
Absolutely it is. Coach, we've got a jam-packed show tonight. We've got players that we're going to talk to. We've got coaches that we're going to talk to. One of the things that we like to do is bring other groups in to be a part of this. We've got two people from the Junior High Student Council that are going to be here tonight too, and just talk about that middle school experience and coming on up to high school. So that's great. It's just a tremendous family atmosphere out here at Brocato where we're at, Coach. And hang on, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump into our interviews with coaches and players, and who knows where the night takes us. We know where it originates, and that's right here at Brocato's. Come out and join us out here. We'll be here until 8 o'clock-ish, I guess you'd say. I am Doug Gann, and you're watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links-style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view and gear up in our pro shop. Ready to elevate your golfing experience? Tee off at Links on the Bayou today. Links on the Bayou, redefining the way you enjoy golf.
And we're back live at Brocato's on a Wednesday night, having a good time. Another tremendous crowd out here. And Coach, you get to see both sides of it, the team side and the event side of it too. But let's talk about the atmosphere here first.
Oh, well, look, I'm pleased to have it here. It's such a tight-knit community here at Menard, and be able to have kind of our own private little place to do it instead of being surrounded by, a lot of other people. It's real nice. We get to have a nice time doing this.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. And Coach, I know you've been coming out to these too. It's just you see that community, you see it in the tailgating, you see everything. That Menard family is just there.
It really is, and we approached Sam about doing this, and I was part of the group of men that came to him and said, hey, look, we want to kind of change a little venue, and we'd like to do it at your place just because it kind of fits our community better, and I think it was a wonderful, wonderful deal, and look forward to the rest of football and rolling into baseball and softball with it.
Oh, absolutely. So here's the only problem that I found. Where my chair is, I'm looking at that menu, and I'm looking at, Thursday's pork chop day, and Fridays, and I'm like, God dog it, I need to get in that chair and face this way, I think is what it is. But we've anybody that's watching that's not familiar with it, where it's at, it's on Coliseum Boulevard, and if you're not familiar with it, if I'm the one telling you about it, you're in trouble. Anyway, so, but a tremendous place coming out, and you guys are open here from 11 to 2? During the day, is that right?
Well, yeah, 11 to 2 for lunch.
Right.
We open at 6 in the morning, so we're open from 6 a.m. to 9:30 serving breakfast.
I didn't know they made a 6 o'clock in the morning. I thought there was just one in the evening.
It's rough.
No.
It's rough. I'm not going to lie.
What time do you guys get up and get going then?
I get here about 5 a.m.
I love it though. So, no, that's the problem. When I started working, when you guys were over there on MacArthur Drive, I talked to your dad about it too. I said it's the Gorilla Burgers and the Chicken Fried Steak Wednesdays that got me from about 130 pounds to where I am now. So I tell everybody about it. That's the spot to go. But the food here is absolutely wonderful.
Well, thank you.
So with all of that notwithstanding, let's get into what we're all here for is talking football on there. You guys had a big win in week 1. Last week, shorthanded, sicknesses, a very good opponent in there, kind of took one on the chin. How do you grow from that?
Well, Jay and I talked before the game on this, and realistically, we knew it was definitely an uphill battle coming in against Gina. They were the semifinal team last year.
Seems like every year they're
top
deep.
10,
That's correct.
Top 10 3A team. And we just wanted to see our kids go out there and battle.
Right.
We just wanted them to play tough, never quit, never lay down. And going back on film and watching it, we thought our defense did that. Now, we gave up the big plays.
Right.
But we got them to third down. We got them to fourth down a few times. And our boys battled. But, once they broke contain on us,
they've always containing the explosive plays out of Gina has always been a difficult thing. No matter who's out there playing them, they've got skill on the and speed out on the ends, and it's just difficult, especially when, again, a lot of folks out sick, a lot of shorthanded on there. But Coach Jay, I'll tell you what, I went back and looked at some of the film on it that didn't see one person quitting out there. They gave it all until that final buzzer, no matter the score.
That's the biggest thing we challenge with this team. And here's something we don't talk about. Defensively, we have 2 seniors that really are rotating in defensively, and we're a pretty young team defensively as far as our age and size. So they're going to get better. And those guys, from a defensive standpoint, we took it on the chin, no doubt. Gina's good. Those 2 running backs are really, really good. That coaching staff does a good job with them. They're going to be a good program and probably go pretty deep in the playoffs this year. But our guys never quit.
Right.
They didn't quit, and we challenged them that. We said, look, man, if you get beat this play, you got to get up and play the next play and the next play. It's about building character. Look, in life, you're going to get knocked down. You're not always going to win. How are you going to deal with the adversity? How are you going to handle it? What are you going to do when it knocks you down? And that's kind of what we wanted to build in them. And we took this as a game where we're going to build for games down the road, right? Where maybe the opponent matches our skill set more. That's what we're looking at. And we're not looking at a short term. We're not looking, we lost Friday. That's all right. What's next? Who's next? Let's get ready for the next opponent. Let's get ready for the next game. We got a goal in mind. Let's focus on that goal and get after it.
But I think you respond that way knowing you don't duck Gina. Gina's a solid.
That's right.
When you're saying, I don't know, does this look like a Patsy team? Let's call Coach Roark. Not in the slightest.
Nope, you know what you're getting into.
That's exactly right. So, but these guys, these young men, will learn a little more from the loss in that game than they did in the 45-0 win against Northwood the week before.
Absolutely.
Look, coming back and getting these guys up, what are a couple of things that you say to them Monday when practice starts and you said, look, flush that, it's over with, and this is what we're going to do?
Well, look, we got St. Mary's this week.
Right.
It's already a rival.
It got flushed quick, didn't it?
That's right.
That's right.
Some of these kids have been playing against St. Mary's since they were in elementary school.
Right, I saw the pictures.
And
I saw that.
And some of them have never beat St. Mary's, even at the elementary level. A few of them have. Actually, our seniors and our juniors played them in elementary and beat them. Didn't get to play them in junior high, and have lost to them every year as high schoolers. And so they're looking to even, the score is not even yet, but we want to start the trend to even the score.
Look, the beauty of it, too, and, boy, that's got to fire you up because you are such two equally – I mean, when you look at the two teams, size, kids that are on the roster on there, approach to the game, Coach Seastrunk and the work that he does with those guys – man, this is one of them you mark. You don't even – yes, you think about last week, but this is the one that you circle right here. Mm-hmm. So what do we do to get all those losses out of the way and say, all right, this is the year we're going to beat St. Mary's?
Well, I think the first thing you do is you look at the positive and you take out what you did good, right? You can control your effort and your attitude. That's what you can control. And you praise the fact that the effort and attitude was good.
Right.
Okay. Then you go in and you look at, all right, what did we do well? What did we not do well? You take what you didn't do well. Okay.
Right.
For us, we felt like one of our guys wasn't going to arm tackle. We felt like we were more arm tackling than we were bodying up. So then you go to work on Monday. All right, what are we doing? Well, let's start focusing more on doing a better job of tackling. Those two running backs were elite, right? They're elite. So how are we going to take on the next set of elite running backs?
Right.
How are we going to respond? Let's look at what we did well, continue that, and what we didn't do well. Let's say, all right, let's work on that. Went to work defensively. Hey, we're going to work on tackling. Let's make that a priority. Let's make that something we work on. And I think that's what you do. And the guys have to understand, hey, man, that's over. Flush it. Let's go. We're going to next Friday.
Look, that's the tremendous approach. And I go back to the mindset that they take out of this because anything that we've been around, I mean, we followed baseball, we followed softball, we followed a lot of the sports around here too. You're not going to see a lot of future pro players on here. They're learning the game of life out here right now. And so their response from Monday to Tuesday, here it is Wednesday practice. How has that been? How has the move been from Monday to today?
Actually, I mean, it's been a good week. Get through Monday installs, come out on Tuesday. We look kind of flat on Tuesday, and coaches, we were just all over them.
I heard that
we were
too.
pushing. Today, the intensity leveled up a little bit. Coaches weren't having to push as hard today. It looks like their mindset.
That's a good group of seniors we got this year, and I think that's why the maturity and the effort and attitude was as good as it was Friday night, because this group of seniors, these guys want to win. They want to be leaders. They want to step up, and they understand what we were up against, but they understand what the rest of the season is.
Right.
And I think they embrace that. They've got a goal in mind, and it's time to move on. Let's focus on that goal, and they're doing a good job of leading us towards that.
Look, we haven't forgot about our Michael either.
That's right.
I mean, that's always in the back of our mind. Like, hey, let's go out there. Let's try to live up to Michael's expectation of this season. And they're all taking that real serious.
Look, any of them talk to, and we talked to some of them throughout, it's genuine. It's not something that's on a T-shirt. It's not something that's just said in the huddle. You can see that that fight is in there and that love is in there with those guys.
That's what makes this community so special. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, and a lot of people know I'm not Catholic, but I became, and whenever we came here, they embraced us as part of the community, and I just – from that standpoint and what you get in community and education, it's just for me, Menard's a no-brainer. And that's where you send your kid. If you're looking for a faith-based education, you're looking for a community, what they did and how they – it's nothing fake about that.
That's
with the boards and how that's been handled. And, man, that kid was phenomenal. It was a pleasure for me even to be around the kid, coach the kid, to even get to know the kid and the family.
Right. Look, that's you said that one of the key words in there is genuine, and folks can tell. they can tell when it's not genuine, and everything that we see, it's a testament, like you said, to this crew on here. So, guys, looking forward to a big night on here. I know it's one game, and I know but it's a special one, and it's at home, and the tailgating is going to be going on. Man, that's a great atmosphere to walk out when you guys are going out there and you see all of that going on.
I mean, this is the Bishop's Bowl.
That's right.
We're bringing the trophy home this year.
If you can't get fired up about this game, you probably need to hang them up and not do it.
If you can't get fired up for this, your wood's wet. That's the bottom line. It ain't there.
Look, that's a great way to leave it, too. Guys, I appreciate you for stopping by. Even though you didn't have time to prepare for it, you did a tremendous job, as always. And, again, the atmosphere here, this is a wonderful place, home run event and home run spot to have it.
I'm gonna give that quick shout out to my brother. He's a co-sponsor on this at 3 Potato More, and
and you bring him up too. Now I think he's going to be under the microphone and the headset Friday night too, because John disappears. He shows up at the very end of it. I see him over there now, but John's going to be away. And so, have you had to give him some tips about what to do and what not to do in there?
Well, Ryan knows a lot of these boys because, his nephew being on the team, and he's an alumni of Menard. He's going to be comfortable up there. I think he knows just enough about football to be dangerous up there. He's going to be just fine.
Look, we're excited about it. We're going to have him on the show here in a little bit, too, and get to visit with him some. So going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking to it. But 3 Potato More, Brocatos, they're the two that allow us to come out here and do this, and we're forever grateful for you, my friend.
Well, thank you, Doug.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Jay,
Doug.
as always, great job. We'll be back right after this. When we come back, we'll have Coach Perkins just for a minute. We'll name our player of the game. We'll name our lineman of the week, and we'll do all of that when we come back. You are watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show live from Brocato's right here on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hawk. Learn more about how Farm Bureau Insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we're back on another Wednesday night edition of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. Had Jay and Sam up here, and that's a tremendous, tremendous group of guys. Coach, your coaches have always been so solid.
Absolutely. I couldn't do nothing without those guys. They put in a whole lot of work, besides just watching film. They're in these guys' lives and knows what their guys' lives are about, which is important. They know who they can really get on to and who they need to back off a little bit from. So, the coaches do a great job. Coach Ortiz, he's the offensive coordinator. Him and Coach Redmond, they got the offense going. And Coach Sam and Coach Jay, they're doing defense. Coach Foltz is doing defense. And then when I got the new guy, Court, who we've had on, so he can really relate to these young guys, and they relate back to him. So they do such a great job, and just privileged to have them.
Look, I used to coach Cortland. He's the same age that my oldest son is in baseball. Okay, and we played. We'd travel around with these guys, and Court played first base for us. And we're walking out onto the field, and we're getting ready to exchange the lineups. And one of their guys was like, "Coach, coach, coach," but he's talking to Cortland because Cortland's a foot taller than I am at 12 years old. And he's like, "No," and he's all shucks. "No, I'm just a player." And so it was just Cortland at his finest. But it's just a tremendous family, no doubt about it.
Absolutely, and he loves these guys. And this is his first year coaching in high school.
Right.
He was in junior high last year, but he was coaching high school. The other day we were in the weight room. He was a football player over at LC, and he had like the bench record over there for a little while. But the other day we were in the weight room, and he told me to get out of the way, and he grabbed it, and the guys were just like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
but
he can chunk some steel.
But
There's
that
no
boy,
doubt
he's
about
a big
that.
boy, and he's strong, and but we love him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Coach, we've got a couple other things that we do. You saw Matthew Hicks get his game ball from last week. We've got one for this week, and there's a rule that we're going to invoke.
I hope he's watching
tonight. So, yeah, if he's not watching on this, but it was a young man that made the 30-yard field goal in the game, and so Jude Maida is our Sabine State Bank Player of the Game for Week 2, and I don't see him here.
He's not here. So
Jude, if you're watching this, I want you to understand, Coach, we'll give this to you now. If you become the player of the game for Week 2, that's on you. But we pass on. But we want to thank our friends at BU's Designs that make the football, and, of course, Sabine State Bank for the work that they've done. Longtime supporters of Menard and everything that they do, but we couldn't do a thing without Sabine State Bank, so thank you for them. Also, Express Pros here in Alexandria gives away a honor to a lineman of the week, because the lineman never gets called out unless they're getting called out for a holding or anything like that, or false starts, and then everybody focuses on them.
They do.
So it was our goal to say, you know what, we want to reward somebody that's done a good job on there too, and you got a lot of guys that are playing really well, but our offensive lineman or defensive lineman, I think he plays both sides of it. Probably does. He wears number 65, and it's Carson Albanian.
Carson Albanian, he's a junior this year, and he's going both ways. Just one of a few guys that we got going both ways. So he does a good job. He's been sick this week. Hasn't been at practice, but we'll get it. He's coming tomorrow. We'll get him up to speed, and he'll go play against St. Mary's. But congratulations to him on being the line. He deserves it.
There you go. And our cool play of the game that will get released this evening, that was a punt that Jake hit inside the 5-yard line too. And being able to do that, that's our Southern Air cool play of the game. Again, the community supports everything that we do, and we're very grateful for them. So our Southern Air cool play of the game, and you'll see that is that punt inside the 5-yard line. And, Coach, special teams is something that you have to have.
Absolutely. And we did that. Some of the players were mad when I went for that field goal. We were down, I think, 30 or whatever it was. But I told them and explained to them after the game why I did that. Obviously we weren't going to win or come back, and we did need 7. But, we were there. We may need this down the road, or we will need this down the road.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to see under pressure. Jude's a new kicker. It's his first year. He's never played football before. I wanted him to try this with a lot of pressure, and he got a lot of pressure. And I really don't know how they didn't block it, because we made a little mistake right there, but he nailed it right down the middle, and we'll need that down the road to maybe win a game or whatever. So that's why we did it.
But if you don't know you need it, then you don't know you need it, and it's good to be able to go back in, because kickers at this level, at any level, are weapons, and having one of them is there. So we've got a special treat. When we come back, we're going to talk. It's called our halftime segment. We're going to talk to the couple of members of the Junior High Student Council. Robert Anderson's going to come back in, and he's going to interview those two when they come back over here. And you have to have the voice of the Eagles back in here for something like that.
Doing
Coach,
a good job, too.
Then we'll talk to a couple of your guys that are on here. We'll talk to Ryan, who's going to step under the headset for us Friday night. A lot to do before we get out of here. We're just reaching halftime. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show right here at Brocato's and live on 446 Sports.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Discover golf like never before at Links on the Bayou, Central Louisiana's hidden gem. Welcome to a golf experience like no other. Our Links-style design sets the stage for an exciting and unique adventure. 5 distinct tee boxes cater to every skill level, ensuring a game that's perfect for you. And when you're ready to refuel, head to Becky's Bunker Club for dining with a view and gear up in our pro shop, ready to elevate your golfing experience. Tee off at Links on the Bayou today. Links on the Bayou, redefining the way you enjoy golf.
All right, we are back. The Eagles Nest Coaches Show. Tonight we got 2 special guests, from the Menard community. We've got Macy Smith and Ben Janice. Glad to have y'all here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Macy, tell us a little bit about what you do as far as y'all are on the student council.
Yes, sir.
You're the president, and Ben, you're the vice president. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Macy, tell us a little bit about what you do as far as what do y'all do as far as the student council in junior high?
Well, one of the main things we do is homecoming, decorating the float, and decorating the hall for homecoming. That really brings us all together, and it's really fun to do with a big group of people.
What grade are you? Are you in the 7th or 8th grade now?
8th grade.
8th grade, so you'll be coming up next year to the high school, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good. And Ben, tell me a little bit about what do you, as far as the vice president duties?
We usually just whenever we just go to float meetings, really. We're in charge of the floats for the parade.
Are y'all looking forward to the homecoming? Y'all like doing the homecoming parades?
Yes, sir.
What makes it so fun?
Well, first of all, we have really good themes. This year our theme is Alice in Wonderland. And it's really fun to invite the whole grade. The whole grade is involved, not just student council. So it's fun to meet with them and work together.
So Ben, is that right? So what's your favorite part about this?
One of my favorite parts is I just get to hang out with my friends and decorate the float.
So do y'all get to hang out with the high school kids as far as their student council? Or do they get to help y'all, or as far as, a little bit?
Yes, sir. We go to meetings with them every Thursday, and especially the executive student council really helps us, guides us through the whole everything about homecoming.
So is there going to be any floats? I mean, as far as the floats, is there going to be costumes? Is everybody going to be dressed up in Alice in Wonderland costumes or anything else like that?
Some people might.
Yeah. Some of us wear our homecoming shirts on the float, and other people dress up.
I always ask this question to the other kids. What teacher do you like the most here at Menard?
Oh, I can't answer that.
Oh yeah, who's all of them?
Yes, all of them.
Who do you go to? Who's your go-to teacher?
My go-to teacher is Miss Hawthorne.
Miss Hawthorne. What does she teach?
She teaches 7th and 8th grade English.
English teacher, good. Ben, what about you, bud?
If I had to pick my favorite teacher, it'd probably be Miss Lombardo.
Miss Lombardo?
Yes, sir.
Good. I understand you got a brother, and I interviewed him last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I interviewed your brother last week. How cool was that? You're behind your big brother.
Sadly.
Sadly. Oh, you got a great big brother, and you got a great daddy over there too. I got to meet your daddy tonight as well. So, anything else coming up? That y'all got planned for as far as homecoming? I know you're looking forward to the parade. You got to be looking forward to the parade, throwing candy and all that other stuff to the kids. And
we do the parade, and we also decorate our halls, and it's a competition to see who has the best decorated halls and the float too.
And probably shows the most spirit too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Good. Ben, do you play any? Excuse me. any sports, or do you think? What else?
I play not football. I play soccer. I play baseball. And I play golf.
Oh, so you're a golfer too?
Yes,
So
sir.
you play all 3 sports, huh?
Mhm.
And what about you, Macy?
At school, I do basketball and track and field, and outside of school, I do jiu-jitsu and martial arts.
I'm not gonna mess with you. I'm not gonna. Good for you. Now this one behind the camera he's a runner as well. He's a marathon runner.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he done. Excuse me. But we're excited and glad y'all are here. I'm glad you're representing this, great community of Menard, and we can't wait to see you grow up, because you're fixing to get into the 9th, 10th, and it's fixing to go by. And unfortunately, it's going to go by real quick.
Yes.
So,
It's
but I know.
exciting and scary.
Oh, but you're gonna do great, because you got a great support system, here with these fine teachers and coaches, and even Ben, your big brother, is probably teaching you a lot too, isn't he?
Yeah. Kind of.
Well, good. Well, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
and
having us.
and come say hello in the press box during football games. Come say hello to us, and maybe we'll get you on the air there too.
Yes, sir, we will.
Okay. You're watching the Eagles Nest Coaches Show, and we'll be right back with you on 446 Sports.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
And we're back to Brocato's on a Wednesday night. It is the Eagles Nest Coaches Show. I am Doug Gann with 446 Sports, and appreciate Robert Anderson for taking the opportunity to visit with some of the junior high student council. Jump back in now. We've got a couple of the players. Don't forget, coming up, too, we're going to talk to somebody that you'll hear a little bit of on Friday night. We'll talk about that in just a minute, too. But I'll let these guys go ahead and introduce themselves.
Cade Tossan, senior.
Lane Evans, and I'm a senior.
There you go. See, that wasn't so hard, was it?
No.
All right, we'll be back right
after.
after. No, that's right. You've been doing it a good bit.
With baseball and everything, yes, sir.
Yeah. So the food here, tell me about that, because I know you guys have you liked Buffalo Wild Wings, but the food here is just home cooked, and it's what's been your favorite so far?
It's pretty solid. Week one was good. The pulled pork sandwiches.
The pulled pork is my favorite so far, by far.
Yeah.
So by far?
By far.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into the season now. 1-1, and I think if you looked at the start of it and you said, yeah, of course we'd like to go 2-0, but you're looking at Gene on there, and that's a tough draw no matter what. but knowing that you're coming out 1-1, getting ready for St. Mary's, and the rest of it we're not going to worry about. What does St. Mary's week mean to you? This is the Bishop Bowl.
A lot. We've never actually beat them, but that changes this year, and it's just the practices. You know, the coaches have been super intense with us, and I definitely say yesterday we probably didn't respond to it that good, but coming out today, we definitely responded to it good. The practice was good, and so we're looking to get a huge win and make sure that Bishop Bowl trophy stays here.
What does it mean to you guys in your senior season to come in and say, look, this is something that we got to get taken care of? Other games don't matter the last 3 years. They stay around because they weren't wins for you guys, but here's your opportunity as seniors.
I mean, it means a lot. Like, you know, in junior high and elementary school, we never lost to St. Mary's. So losing to St. Mary's when we get to high school, I mean, it really hurts. Like, we know we can beat these guys. We beat them every time. And this year's our last year. You know, we were hurt a little bit last year.
Right.
So that might have had a little factor to play. But this year, like, everybody's good. Everybody's ready to go. I think we're going to come out on top.
Look, and you guys, I guess if there was a chance for the flu bug and sicknesses to sit in, it was last week and not this week, because I think you guys are back full strength.
Pretty
mostly.
Much. We're only missing one. Carson Albania's been sick this week.
But I understand he'll be back and going.
Yes,
so
he's been going to get IVs and stuff. He's doing as much as he can to get back as quick as possible.
But for the most part, we're pretty much.
Look, it's been a different Menard this year. You know, certainly looking to throw the ball a little bit more, and that offense is a little bit tempo. How has that been working for you guys?
I mean, I liked it. I think the tempo is a good thing. You know, getting to the line and being able to run the play, and I also think just as an offensive group, you know, it's like kind of our second year all playing together.
Right.
And so that definitely helps for sure, you know, builds chemistry, especially on the offensive line. You know, Lane was hurt last year in week 2 in the Gina game. But, I mean, besides Gage, he's new, but he's done really good coming back. But, you know, Hollis and Carson, they've been there. And Lane played his sophomore year before he got hurt. So, but I feel like it's a good group, you know. We all bond. We all have really good chemistry, so I find that really helps too.
Yeah.
I like running the tempo because, you know, we conditioned all summer. We worked real hard, so running tempo, I mean, it definitely – the defense, like, they're not as near as conditioned as us, and I can tell throughout the game. Like, it's not just the fourth quarter. Like, second and third quarter, I can tell they're starting to get slowed down.
Right.
They're starting to get weaker, and we're the same all the way throughout.
Look, that's one of the things. We've talked to a number of kids that play on tempo-style teams. And when you can look across the line of scrimmage and see hands on hips, that's got to get you fired up a little bit more, knowing, okay, we're gonna move it up a notch here.
Yeah, for sure. Just being able to, you know, get to the line, run that play, and I mean, like Lane said, it doesn't even really take sometimes to the fourth quarter, you know, and especially you run a play and you run the ball for 7 yards. It's like, you know, you go up there and we're running the same play at you again because, you know, it's coming. Like, that's just – and I like running that stuff, you know.
And it's just – they just got to stop you.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, there you go. How much more special is this year knowing that you missed last year?
It's a lot more special. I was really looking forward to last year. Like, you know, I got a bunch of football games left to play.
Right.
And now I was hurt all last year, and senior year came like that. And it's going by like that so far. And
look,
I mean,
you need to look in there and tell them younger players that exact same thing. They're
senior
coming
year
up,
is gonna
7th,
go by
8th graders.
just like that.
Look, it'll be here in no time.
And we played 3 games, and it feels like we've only been playing a week, but it's been 3 weeks.
Been told that my whole life. Never believed it.
It's true.
You get here and
it's true.
Reality sets in.
And
sure.
so that's a good point. Then let's look at that. As seniors, you've got to say, you know what? Let's pump the brakes, because colleges and graduations and proms and all of this other stuff that gets in the way. You got a ball game to go get ready for, and then you've got a big district to go get ready for too. So how, as a senior group, because it's a large senior group, how do you stay focused on this?
I think that just, you know, like experience.
Right.
You know, a lot of us played last year, and so being able to come back this year with that experience, and you know, our sophomore year we had that big group of seniors, and I find that, you know, they were leaders for us, and I find they kind of showed us how, you know, stuff was done, and they went 7-3, and so, you know, sitting here at this seat, it's like, why can't we go 7-3?
Right.
So, you know, which, I mean, the goal is to win every game, but why, you know, but let's go win, and let's, you know.
Look, and it's often, if your goal is not to have success in the season, Why do you go through this stuff in the summertime? Why are you out there? Because I saw some of the practices. Coach Court, those groups, they're getting after you and getting you ready to go because they've all been through it.
Yes, sir.
But you've got that right. I mean, if there's not that goal, why do any of that? That's right.
Yeah.
Look, you guys have such a great attitude with this, too, and I love it. What did you responding from last week saying, okay, that's gone. Big win on an opening night. They're going up to Northwood.
Yes,
Hatfield going up on the road, getting the big win out there, too. And now you've kind of set the table for what the season is there. So with that in mind, what is the thing what do you want to take out of this week that gets you ready for Friday night?
I just want that Bishop Bowl trophy.
Well,
That's
okay.
what I want.
What do you guys do? Because I know Monday's been there. We've talked about Tuesday. It wasn't so good. And the coaches that I talked to, today's practice was a lot better. He said you went a little longer on there too.
Yes, sir.
As a group, do you think you're progressed better than where you were Friday night? And now you're ready for this one?
Well, yes, sir. Because last week we was having barely 20 kids at practice.
Right.
We were lucky. We didn't even dress
How do you
out
go? Ones and ones.
We didn't even dress out in pads on Tuesday last week because everybody was so sick.
Right.
And this week we're trying to make up for that a little bit, and it's definitely showing. Like I feel like everybody's gotten like just a little bit better this week.
Yeah.
And I think we're ready for St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Look, as seniors, do you get together and have some players-only senior-type meetings?
Whenever I find it's kind of an understood thing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like anybody really just step up and say something. You know, I mean, we have a lot of senior linemen. I know for sure we have a lot of younger linemen, and we've pulled them aside multiple times and, you know, talked to them, and the coaches talked to them too. But, you know, it's a good thing to do, to be able to, you know, pull some people aside and say, look, I've been in their footsteps.
Right.
I've been a freshman going up against seniors. You know, it might be scary, but before you know it, like we just talked about, it's here. So, you know, you gotta step up. You gotta just get to practice and do all that stuff because it's only going to prepare you for the long run.
During sophomore year and stuff, I was scared to play on Friday nights. Almost like I would get so nervous. And Cade I was like, "You got this. You know what to do. Like you know every position." Because I was always bouncing around from week to week. And like I'm not gonna lie, the game slows down so much from sophomore year to junior year to senior year. It slows down a little bit every year, and it's slowing down helps you way more than you think.
Look, that's tremendous. So, away from football, let's step away from football. Have a memory that you had at Menard, something that you'd say, you know what, this is why Menard.
Shoot. Away from sports, you got one? Or?
I don't think I got. It's just the family. Yeah. Everybody's a family. You can always go talk to somebody if you need somebody. Everybody's there is like your older brother. If you need, like we joke and stuff all the time, but if you need somebody to talk to, you can always go out and talk to somebody.
There you go. Favorite subject?
I like math.
Okay.
Oh boy. I think I've never liked English, but I like English class this year.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Mr.
Foster's a hoot in class.
He makes it fun. I'm not gonna lie.
See there, Mr. Foster, you're a hoot.
My favorite English year probably so far.
All right, least favorite subject, not teacher. Don't bring up teacher. Don't mention names.
Well, I mean, I've never really been an English fan. Like I was taking like math and science honors pretty much all high school. I just hadn't taken English, but like I said, I like English this year. It's not as bad. So,
Civics, Coach Court. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but I don't.
See, you got called out. There you go.
I don't really have a subject I don't like. I mean, I know a bunch of people don't like going to school, but I like going to school. I like to see my friends and everything.
It gets a little boring. Whenever I was sick, I was out last week for 3 days. Thursday, I was like, I got to go to, I got to do something. I just can't. It's hard to just, sit
It's hard to stay. Yeah, that's right. All right, one last question, then we'll get you out of here, too. You talked about the seniors that had an influence on you when you were a sophomore and freshman and all of that. If you're a senior, talking to your sophomore self, what are you telling you?
Shoot, I guess be more aggressive, get out there more. Don't like shy away from the moment, and work hard, and don't kind of sit back and think, like Lane said, you have time. Because you really don't, so you gotta prepare for the moment, know what you're supposed to do. That way, whenever you get your opportunity, you can be ready for it.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell myself two things. I'd probably tell myself, you're finally gonna hit a growth spurt, and just take Friday night lights in. Just sit there for a second, just take the environment in, take the smell in, take the sound in, because at Menard, it's truly special.
Nothing like it. Nothing like at home at the Nest. You know, last year we were undefeated.
That's right.
At home. So, but we'll finish 4-1 this year at home.
That's what I'm talking about. There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you as always. The mic's always here for you guys.
Yes,
you know
sir.
that
Yes,
without
sir.
a doubt. You represent Menard and our community in this city the way you should. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank
We're
you.
going to take a quick, about a minute break. We'll get back and we'll wrap things up here. We're getting into the fourth quarter, our 2-minute drill. We'll do all of that when we come back. 446 Sports right here.
In Central Louisiana, you might see me at the ballparks or soccer fields, or we might cross paths at the grocery store. I'm your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, your local expert when it comes to protecting what you love and depend on. I'm Jason Hall. Learn more about how Farm Bureau insurance can save you time and money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK and let me help you protect your biggest investments. Real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance.
Check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
And we're back to the Eagles Nest Coaches Show here at Brocato's Breakfast, Lunch, and Catering. And them and Three Potato More, we couldn't do a bit of this without. And so kudos to them for being such a vital part of the community that they've always been, Coach.
Absolutely, and we can't do anything without our community. And just like Three Potato More and Brocato's, you know, they're helping us out. They're the reason why we're here tonight.
Correct. That's right. So we're very grateful. And speaking of Three Potato More and why we're here tonight, and that's just, I keep saying it because I'm going to remind myself to go by there tomorrow to have lunch. So if you're like, Doug, we're not open yet, you'll see there. But Ryan joins us, and Ryan is going to be a part of our broadcast crew on Friday night because, again, John is somewhere else. But
yep, he's somewhere else, but he's tried to coach me through it a little bit and give me some pointers on how to help call the game with Robert.
Can I give you a pointer?
Yes.
Flush all of that. Don't listen to John. He approaches it from an official's point of view. Don't do John. I love what he does. Absolutely do. But you got a good crew that you're stepping into this year.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so the pressure's on now. You've never, as a commentator, you've never lost a Bishop Bowl.
Well, that's right.
So, see?
Well, I will say this, though.
Good
all
point.
Week,
I can justify, Coach, anything.
Good
I'll
point.
find a way.
Hey, all week I've been watching Sports Center, and I've been kind of getting sharpened up on my skills and my sayings that all these people say.
This went downhill because if he just says, all week long I've been watching 446 Sports broadcasts, then we're good. No, I get it. Look, all I can say is just be yourself on there. I had a guy call me, and he says, I need some sort of a voice. I need to do that. I said, be yourself, because the person that's listening knows, and they want you to be genuine. And that's exactly what it is. And that's what we like about you. You just bring such a love of Menard and a love of the community to this, and it's just natural for you.
Well, so let me tell you a quick story real quick if we have a couple minutes.
We do.
Look,
y'all of us, we stay here till 10 o'clock. I'm fine.
I got to work tomorrow.
That's right. We'll get out of here real quick.
Right.
So this was a story whenever I was playing football at Menard, and this was my freshman year, and my brother Sam, who's Coach Brocato here, he was at Ash playing football.
Okay.
And I played center and linebacker, and Sam played linebacker at Ash. Well, it was Menard's turn to play Ash back in the Cosmo Jambo whenever we did the round robin. And the coach saw that my brother Sam was in at linebacker, and he yelled, "Hey, Brocato, you want to go hit your brother?" I said, "Yes, sir."
Yes.
So put me in at center and gave me 3 shots to find them and hit them. And I clipped them one little time, and that was it. So
Man,
great story with
I wish I'd have known that story before he got on here, too, because it would have been – I want to know how well those two stories align. I'm
pretty sure Sam's might be a little different.
Right. I've got to believe that. No, we're looking forward to having you on Friday, not Saturday, Friday for sure. What a great atmosphere you get to come into. The Bishop Bowl, a home game. You know that the tailgating is going to be intense out there too. So
well, Menard games on a Friday night at home are special in itself.
That's right.
People obviously come to watch the football, but the community at Menard is so tight that there's just people everywhere, and it's just a great environment in general. And I think it's going to be a little bit cooler on Friday night. That might help a little bit.
Hope so.
Look, it would have to. Coach, final thoughts on there as you get ready for St. Mary's. Let's talk about that just a bit.
Well, we talked about it a little bit before. St. Mary's and Menard, two Catholic schools, same diocese, under the same bishop. The guys, the girls, they all know each other. Parents know each other. It's going to make for an interesting game. We kind of know what they do. They know what we do. It's going to be physical, and, it'll probably come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes and maybe some special teams. But, we got one more day to prepare, and I think we'll be ready, and I know they'll be ready, and we'll see what happens. It should be a great and entertaining game.
Look, we're looking forward to it as well. So, Ryan, here's your opportunity now. You get the final question of the night.
Oh,
Lord.
on the
spot. Put a man on the spot.
Well, look, that's what Robert's going to do that to you all Friday night. So.
How about if I tell you, I did this before. I did this a couple of years, and, and I know a lot of men who watched in their living rooms games, and I'm not sure you've done that. So that's kind of like what this is. You're just kind of watching and just
right.
kind of having a conversation with the guy next to you, seeing what you see, what you know, and just got to kind of just be able to put it into words. I love doing it. I love doing that, and I actually got to do a little bit of play-by-play a couple of times too.
Right.
So both sides are very, very interesting, but.
So did you see what he did? That was what he did. I ask you the question. He sees you're put on the spot, so he talks a minute. He lobbies is what he does, and now it gives you a chance. Let me think about the question.
Yeah, well,
or you were listening to him.
The problem was it was so good. I was just taking the advice. Well, look, here's a quick question for you. Win, lose, or draw, we know that we want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this game is going to be won in the air or the ground from Menard?
Well, we could do both. I'm not going to sit here and say we want to run it or we want to pass it. We're going to mix it up. Whatever they give us, we're going to take. And if running is working, we'll do that. If passing is working, we'll do that.
Take whatever
we
they
feel
give
like
us.
if we can run it and they want to try to stop that, then we should be able to pass it.
Yeah, I love it.
There's a term for that answer. It's called coach speak. You're not going to get out of it what he's going to do. And I've learned that no matter what question I ask, I know what's coming up. Yeah, we're gonna block and we're gonna tackle and we're gonna mix it up.
Those are the two main things we're gonna do. We're gonna block and tackle.
So the time for those questions will be next Wednesday night when we're recapping this Bishop Bowl victory that's coming just two nights from tonight. Guys,
Absolutely.
it has been a pleasure to be here. Right, we're looking forward to having you in there, my friend. This is going to be a lot of fun. Coach, Thank you for opening up your team and your community to us. We're delighted to be a part of it. Congratulations to our winners of the Lineman of the Week, our Player of the Game, our Cool Play of the Week. Man, it's just a lot of fun on here, too. So,
and we appreciate y'all.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we're absolutely loving it. I told him, I said, if I could get one more restaurant show, I wouldn't cook all week. I absolutely love this. But now I'm going to come by here, or I'm going by here for breakfast, and then I'm going 3 Potato More tomorrow for lunch.
You may have to get a gym membership.
We do. We're brought to you. Don't forget our keys to the game are brought to you by Louisiana Athletic Club. They've got 2 locations, one in Pineville and one right up here. We thank Ronnie and that group for doing that. Look, I've got I use my restaurant ones more than I use the gym one. Let's just say it. I told my wife the other day, I said, I drove by the gym today. She said, you didn't stop. I said, no. I went by the gym today. That's it.
I was on my way to Brocato's whenever I saw it, so yeah.
I blamed Brocato's for all of this back when they were at the other location. That's Gorilla Burgers and Chicken Fried Steak Wednesdays just does all that. Guys, it's been a tremendous time for you for us tonight. Had a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Of course, Brocato's, of course, 3 Potato More, Coach David Perkins, and everybody that brings us into your living room each and every Wednesday night and Friday. And as we tell you, please don't watch our broadcast on Friday night. Get out to the stadium. These kids, these coaches, these fans, this community deserves you to get your behinds out in the seat and go watch this